Hello everyone, welcome to the channel today. So in today's reading, we're going to be doing a reading about healing, a message of healing. So it was coming through kind of interesting. It's not the normal like, what can you do to help your journey or something like that. Like there might be some of that in there, but it really felt like a message of healing, like the energy of the cards that will come out today. So really tap into what energy of the cards are you wanting to heal, or what really calls to you, because you'll be guided to the right path, whatever that will be. So it's going to be a little bit interesting how this read comes through. I'm going to intuit it, but we'll start with the piles. Okay, and I'm feeling this one here. So we're still doing 4 piles for now. Okay. So if you choose pile number 1, you have Ruby. This has increased abundance, passion, lucid dreaming, and light of the soul. Okay. For pile number 2, you have Angelite with angel communication, clairvoyance, alignment, dream insights. Okay. For pile number 3, you have Amber with harmony, home protection, calm, and attracts love. And if you're choosing pile number 4, you have Carnelian with self-trust, relationship rejuvenation, power of concentration, and healing from abuse. Okay. So I'm going to leave this here. Feel free to pick whichever one calls to you. A little bit of light coming through, which is fine. What I'll do is today there's again going to be no shuffling process. I'm going to shuffle during your pile. So if you're waiting for that, you can just jump straight to your reading. If you go down into the description, you'll see the timestamps for each pile, and I'll leave you with this, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So you've chosen Ruby today with increased abundance, passion, lucid dreaming, and light of the soul. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle the cards and we'll see what comes through. I'm starting to do it like this because then it has an opportunity for the same cards to come out in different piles, because we're all going through similar things, especially this month, and at any point in any time, really, there's lots of similarities, right? So certain cards are fine to come out in the same reading. Okay. I might just leave these in the middle and then I'll sort them out at the end. So this is your message of healing today. Now they have been shuffled. I'm going to, between the piles, shuffle them again off camera, just so we can get a clear picture of this reading, each reading in each pile. Not sure how it'll turn out, of course. You never know with these readings, but this isn't one telling you to do necessarily anything. It's just talking to you. It's kind of giving you what you need to proceed, I guess, is the best way I can put it. Okay, you really want to come out. Okay, and we'll pull the tarot cards. Feeling this one. Nope, this one. If it gets a little dark, I'll turn on the light. I just thought it was a very nice day today. A little bit of sunlight coming through. Can't block all the light, which is not a bad thing, right? Oh, these two, yep. Okay, so let's get underway. So these are tarot cards. This one here is kind of more like a mix of tarot and oracle. So I'll have a look and see how that relates to your reading today. So you've got the antelope spirit with life is speeding up. I was actually thinking before I even started reading what this was going to be necessarily touching on, and with passion really, really jumped out. And I feel like it's like passion for life, passion, like getting back into who you truly are with the light of the soul, getting back in touch with your true light. Sorry about the marks on my hand. I was doing some renovations, repair and stuff like that around the house during the weekend. But this is really what this one's feeling like. It's like, yeah, life's starting to speed up. So while I feel like you've wanted this, it's something that's coming. And so it might be like, oh, okay, what I wanted is coming. Uh-oh. Like a good thing, but it's also like, oh, okay, let's get going. So life is starting to speed up. It's literally how it feels with this card. It's like, this is kind of like a calling or something that you've wanted. So this is something that's like it's either like a new person coming in, or finding your calling, or finding your vibe or your zest. You know, energizing kind of energy. I guess energizing vibrations back into your life. So it's like feeling purposeful and meaningful. I feel with this card. Okay, you've also got Fuel, so I'll have a look at that card in a moment. But I do like, it kind of reminds me of Pisces and Aquarius in a sense, like the pouring of the water. It's not necessarily that, but there's like, with the lucid dreaming, it's just like that dreamy energy with that humanitarian. So it's like realizing that your purpose includes others, or includes helping others, or being with the people you love. That's how you get, you research the depths of who you are. This is the light of the soul. It's like the real you. Okay. You've also got step into the unknown. Right next to life speeding up. So this is like something new coming through. This I feel like this event or this external thing is actually making you realize this is actually also an internal thing. So it's like something external that really helps internal, and then the internal, you can help the external. So it's like an event happening or an opportunity coming up that really gives you back your heart and your life. And then on the flip side, you being able to share that light, your literal light of the soul, with the external. So it's like something external helps you internally and helps you shine. So really, really nice. Step into the unknown. You've got the key. You're not supposed to know what the path looks like. You already know the goal. You're supposed to enjoy the path itself. So very cool. So something's coming through really, really strongly in your reading today, Pawan. Some kind of, like, the healing is by doing, I feel. Maybe in some ways you've done the healing by being still with yourself. So you've already gone through many, many, many things, many changes, many shifts. And so now it's starting to get that, what was the purpose of that? Besides healing yourself, but now the next step, like the next journey, the next stage. Okay, so you've got angelic frequencies with angels are here, you are safe, potent connection. That's what I was saying. It's like very strong, your purpose being, I was going to say amalgamated, I don't know if that's the right word, but joined with others. Like it's not just you gaining this, or feeling this. I feel like that part's already been completed or done, or you've gone as far as you need to in that aspect. Like you've done the self-work, or you're starting to do the self-work, and this is also part of it. Like there's also a next step, which includes external. Maybe you're helping people see their light of the soul, right? That feels true. All right. Okay, fair enough. Makes a lot of sense. Really does feel like this card too. The ruby. Saint Barbara with empowerment. She's also got a crown. It's like sovereignty. Seeing yourself as true kind of shining soul, true queen, king, whatever you want to say with that. It's like true empowerment. It doesn't actually matter of a label. You just feel it. You don't have to prove it by any titles or anyone be seen. You know it to be true, so it is. Okay, well, you're healing yourself by the looks of it. And now you're given the opportunity to, because you've gone deep, given the opportunity. I'm just going to quickly check for Wells' message in the book. I don't remember this one. Okay, this talks about cleansing. Cleansing makes a lot of sense. It says here, allow yourself to be cleansed of all that is no longer serving you in preparation for growth and renewal. Yeah, something new. If you are contemplating a detox or a lifestyle change, this card is validation that you're on the right path. So I want to say, regardless of detox or anything like that, because this card has come through, just know that even if something's a little scary, it's going to be really helpful. If it obviously trusts your intuition, if it feels dangerous, then don't do it. But if it feels like just something new, I'm not sure. Know that you've literally worked through many stuff to get your self-sovereignty or ownership over your own self back. So know that this is the right path for you. Okay, really interesting already. I'm going to start with these ones. I think I want them down here. So you've got the Four of Swords, which is the literally rest and heal card, right? Rest and healed. This feels... I feel like while you're doing this, while it might be speeding up, you're still going to... It's going to be at your whim or pace. It's not going to be at a pace that you can't catch up with. You're not playing catch up. You're setting the tone because you've got the correct boundaries already in place, right? You've already done so much work, so much internal, probably external as well work. Yep, this was like King or Queen. Got the Emperor and Empowerment. These two cards, Saint Barbara and this little, I don't know, Burger King, Burger King is it's really nice because it feels like humble. It doesn't feel you need, like I said, you don't need to be told who you are. You know who you are, or that's your goal, is to get to a place where you don't have to seek external validation for who you are, because you know it to be true and you feel it and you live it. Very nice. While also still indulging in what it's like to be a human, right? The 3D stuff, the fun stuff. Okay. You also have the Ace of Portals. This is Star Nursery. I love this card, look at it. And the Star Nursery just thinks of like birthing of a new, like literally a new star, something new within the light of your soul. Like it's being born within, it's starting to grow within. And this is like the next step, like you are evolving. The Ace of Portals, you can also say in this deck, is the Ace of Cups. So that really matches in quite well. New emotional beginning, something new with you, or maybe external, because it is talking about passion, so it might be something that you're trying to draw or attract into you. A new experience, perhaps. But very strong and potent connection again. Feels like if you're looking for a partner and this is the pile you've gotten, you've done so much work. You are going to attract that who respect that, right? Or if you attract someone that isn't like that, you're very quick to like that's not for me, because you've done the work. You're not trying to test and learn and grow from it. You've already grown from it in the past, or you know, self-respect or boundaries or whatever. So you've moved on from that. The light is just going down, so I'm going to turn on my light. You also have attune and recalibrate. So this is the Two of Activations. This is also the Two of Swords, which is interesting because that's usually showing the person with the swords and the blindfold on, and here she's got a blindfold, but instead of a sword she has a key. And it's like, you know, into something new. Don't be afraid of it. you've rested, you can set the pace that you like, the change at your own pace. Um, this reading is about healing, and it's healing through doing, because you've done it through internal work. Like when I say doing, I mean external. Obviously, internal is doing as well. And you're somewhere along the stage, right? You're on like a path of healing already. You're already on your healing journey, it feels like. And here with the increased abundance, it's like a whole bunch of I guess internal things are starting to shift out for you, or you're starting to let go or surrender. Not control, not surrendering control or like giving up, but surrendering the need to control, in a sense. Like you're in some parts, you're empowering yourself by almost surrendering. Like you don't need to control or try to control this outcome or this person, because it's external from what you have, let's say, control of. So you don't have control of how other people think and feel. You only have control of how you respond to that, if that makes sense. But really nice energy coming from this card. So I'm just going to sit it here for a moment. It's really about self-empowerment, this card. The Two of Swords is taking ownership of what you've done and what you are going to do. And it's really like calling back in your own power to power up your own decisions in life, I want to say. So, and I do like how it's got to tune and recalibrate, which is what we do all the time. We're always growing, and we're always like fine-tuning. Our environment changes, so we fine-tune, right? One day it's raining, and the next day it's sunny, so we have to kind of tune our pathing or driving, or like, make sure we got an umbrella because it's raining, something like that. It's just like we're always fine-tuning, and we can do that internally too. There's always an opportunity. Okay, I feel like that is enough. But I still really love the Star Nursery, and this feels like you as being an expanse of yourself, right? You're not just a star, you're also the whole universe. And so when you're growing and changing, you're birthing new stars. Like that's kind of how I feel. I know it sounds really corny, but that's literally what came to my mind. And like my guide's like, yes, that's exactly it. Say it. And I'm like, cringe, but okay. But it does sound really true and beautiful. Like it is that energy. Just know that while some stuff might be unknown, or some stuff might be a little scary, it's not fearful. It's not aggressive, or how's the best word? It's not something to make you go into fear or drag you down or go into shadow. It's something to help you grow. And that's why you're protected here. It says you are safe, literally right in the middle of the reading. You are safe, and you are also empowered. So you are in a place of control where you need to be, a place of surrender where you need to be, a place of growth and healing. So looks like part number one, you're already on your healing path. We always are, right? But you're really on your healing path, I want to say. You're already doing so much. So well done to that. You have support from your guides, angels, whoever you kind of tap into. The universe itself, because you are, as well as being, an individual, you also are at the same time, in essence, the entire universe as well. Yeah, really interesting. I would say you're on a really high road to the next phase of your life. And I think being in the middle of August as well, I think there's something with the two. There's something going on, right? We've got the new moon coming up, so enjoy that. It's Leo, and I feel like this is a very smooth Leo for some reason. I don't know if that means anything, but it's like a really softer kind of like flowy Leo. So it's a great time to manifest what you want and what you're doing. And if you're not already, because it looks like you're already on the path, you may not even need to tap into it because you're already doing it. Like you're already the doer. You don't need to manifest what you're already on. But hey, why not utilize that energy? But there's also 2 full moons. They're both super moons this month. So one is known as a blue moon, and I think there was some asteroids, comets, like meteor showers, I think they call them. Like there was a group of them coming around just this weekend. So there's lots going on. You can probably see some outside at night, depending on where you live, right? I live where it's a lot of light, so probably can't see all that much. But anyway, I digress. Here is your reading. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Absolutely happy to answer or dig into a card. But this looks really great. It looks like you're already on your journey. You're already either beginning it or you're in the midst of it. I don't think we're ever finished, right? We're never finished our healing journey. We're always progressing and growing. And as long as we are moving forward, even if we have to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, that's still progress. And I think that's something to take away as well. But anyway, thank you very much for your time, Pile 1, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Pile number 2. Welcome to your reading today. So you've chosen Angelite with angel communication, clairvoyance, alignment, and dream insight. So a really interesting one popping out for a healing reading. So we'll see what comes through. This may be a message from your angels. Maybe it's about your growth. We'll see. Right, so just so you know, these cards have been shuffled. Between the readings, I'll shuffle them. But we're also in a very kind of like interesting time with the world and how it's progressing and moving forward, and in particular ways, in some ways, it's might be perceived as not moving forward, let's say. It's just in a very interesting time. So it's always good to get an idea of where you're at, whether that's in regards to healing or otherwise. It's always a good time to check in with yourself. Okay, interesting. It's interesting because there was one card that was kind of looking at me and I thought it was that, and then that one popped up and I was like, no, that's definitely it. Nope. Okay, and then we've got 2 tarot card and 2 tarot decks that I'm using. So this one is the Real Talk Tarot. Okay, no, keep shuffling. Okay, so let's get started with your oracle cards. So you've got the Eagle Spirit, Eagle Spirit with Spirit has your back. Nice. Okay, so if you're ever unclear of like, am I on the right path? Am I doing my purpose? Am I fulfilling things? Take note that Spirit has your back regardless of what you do. And so that tells me that you're in alignment with your highest good. There might be some stuff that you might want to like shift, let's say, like energetically. I feel like it's like shift to balance. But regardless of like there's like certain things, so like I guess it's like spiritual hygiene, if you want to call it like that. There's some things like that, but otherwise, like where your trajectory is going is correct. It feels with the Eagle Spirit. It's like eye on the prize kind of mentality. It's like, you know where you're headed to, how the journey looks is kind of which doorways you take, but you're still headed towards the same goal. Okay, so you've got it's a no. This is really telling me, especially with here, with all these like blueprints, if you're waiting around for something to give you a sign, I feel like that's where it's a no's coming in. It's not about receiving something at the door or email popping up or things like that. This is really getting you to know that Spirit has your back. If things are challenging, don't stay in the mindset of like that's going to be always who you are, where you are, or it's like whatever. If this is like a person, if they're telling you who you are, what you are, you need to remember that you have the power within you to know exactly where you're meant to be and where you're going. Obviously, our external people around can be influential, right? But in the end, we decide who we are. We decide what we take from what people say and things like that. It's about empowerment. But it's like the plans at the back feel like believing in something should go along a particular line, a pathway, and maybe even perceiving, like, even if you are intuitive, thinking that, oh, okay, this is how it should look, this is how the next stage is this. And it's like you might have seen that and you might have actually traveled into the astral and picked that up. But that doesn't mean it's going to work out exactly like that, because things always change. It's not like there's many different people traveling, a pathway, so certain shifts have to happen in the video game, let's say, of life we're playing. So I was thinking, might be a psychic or something like that. It was like, maybe you've already traveled in the astral and that kind of thing. So you've got St. Paul with sacred visions. I would say believe what you receive and what you're given, insights, because again, right next to Spirit having your back, I love how they're both facing this way too, because she's also turning her back, and it's like, don't turn your back, not really don't turn your back, don't turn your head back to the past, like she's like looking backwards, right? Continue moving forward with it to know. You might be thinking, oh, maybe I can try to do something in a different way to get a different result, or I don't know, if it feels right, go for it. But I would say if it's something that's like a shortcut or feels like a cheat code, I feel like that's not where you're going to get the best learning. But I love this card, Sacred Vision. Yeah, you're actually intuitive whether you believe it or not. I mean, clairvoyant, you're probably clairvoyant. Okay, so you've got Archangel Michael. Really interesting coming next to like one of the most well-known angels in I don't know, angel history, angelography. I'm not sure what you'd call it. But Archangel Michael is about cutting away doubts. And I think this is like the healing aspect of this is like looking back on the past. It's like, yeah, but I want to take the past with me. You don't want to bring that with you. But there's something there that you don't want to release the anger, because I think the feeling of releasing, or maybe you've done it for so long. I don't know if it's anger or what it is. It's like there's something there that you're holding on to, and you're just like, but if I release it, then who am I, kind of thing. And it's like, well, you are the person that released it. That's how it's kind of coming through. But also Michael is about protection. You're safe. You're in safe hands. Spirit has your back. Like, I guess how many times do I need to repeat it? But it really feels like it needs to be repeated. It's like, you take one step and it's like, oh, have I gone the wrong way? One more step, have I gone the wrong way? It's like, just keep walking. Like, is there anything, like, when you take a step, is there anything like dangerous in the way? Is there a tiger in your bedroom or something like that you have to like react to, right? No? Then keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep moving forward, because you already are on the path forward. There's no need to like go to old crusty plans that are done. Okay. You've also got karmic board clearing, energetic clearing, rewrite your story, and live your truth. It's really interesting because I feel like the story is being rewritten in a sense by you. You're not a pawn. You're not a pawn, right? I think something's popping up when I heard this quote. It's like, at the end of the day, like in a chess game, at the end of the day, the pawn gets put into the box with the king and queen, right? They all go into the same box. So it's kind of like it kind of makes me think of, we're all kind of like players in this reality, this 3D Earth reality. But at the end of the day, we're all souls and we all go back to source. We all go back to oneness, I guess, is how it's really coming through. So with that in mind, rewrite your story, write your story, clear what doesn't need to be there, clear it. It's time to clear it. Because that'll help you identify your actual truth instead of your victimness, I guess it's kind of coming through. I don't want to say it like that because maybe you've been through many different things, but that's just how it's coming through. And I think they're like, regardless of what you've encountered or gone through, it's not like you'll forget it or giving up on it or forgiving, let's say, when I mean like forgetting, rather, you're forgiving self, being at peace with yourself and knowing that you're going to choose to spend your energy on what's going to bring you fulfillment in life. So it's towards the goal. Okay. You've got the Page of Pentacles. I like this. I like the little money kind of like symbol on the phone or whatever it is. But yeah, look, there's like vibrations coming out. This is like a bit of a change internally for you, I feel. You've gone through maybe some shifts energetically. And it's like work, right? But at the end, you choose. Like you are. It's helping your physical. There's purpose to this. These releases, these changes, these shifts. Yeah, Six of Cups coming through. Very much so about the past, and I feel like that's where it's a no. I do like this one though, because it's like learning and growth, right? There might be many different things that you didn't like from the past, let's say. Not that these plants are not to like, but you know, different things. Like there's a cactus, there's a droopy thingy. I don't know. Succulent. I don't really know plants. Leaf plant. You know, there's many different things that you've gone through, and just because some of those don't work out doesn't mean you have lost knowledge or time or anything. I feel like wasted time, if we can call it that, is spent doing not progressing. And it doesn't mean like doing nothing, because I feel like sometimes doing nothing, you might think of like sitting and watching TV or something, or just not progressing on a particular topic, but you might be contemplating and thinking and healing, right? That's not doing nothing. It's all something. But if you're putting your energy into stuff that's not helping you move forward, it's just like stuff that keeps you stuck or keeps you held back, then that's where it's like, okay, it's time to get out of that, clear that, and remind yourself that you're supported, because you are. But it's going to come through with your work. Ultimately, it's our decision. Someone could take us through a spiritual journey all the way, like, I don't know, all the way to the end, right? And it's all you have to do is like dive into the pool of life or something. I don't know what this is, what they're trying to show me, but it's like diving into the oasis. And you know, that's your choice. You can just not do it. You cannot dive in. So it's that's why you get pulled through different things in life to get, when you're at the final destination, let's say, or the goal, that you take the leap of faith because of all you've learned along the path. Ooh, okay. Okay, so it's got the Wheel of Life. I love this. It says, in it, but not of it. It's an interesting one, because this is like good fortune. I feel like there's something else here that I need to read as well. Just going to have a quick look. While I'm doing that, I'll just see what Michael says. I know I'm leaving that one hanging, but that's okay. So Michael talks about courage and protection. So it's like moving forward, like, you know, self-empowerment for all the stuff that you've kind of like started to clear and work on, or you already are. I feel like you already are, and some of you, or most of you actually already are. So continue with that, you know, if it still pops up, or maybe leave it and then move on to something else. It's really up to you. You're taking control of this. You're not being guided with a leash, because you're the, you know, you're the leader. You're the soul that's going forward. Okay, we'll leave that one. All right, but number 10. So this is the Wheel of Fortune in the traditional sense. But I feel like there's something they want to mention. Okay. So it says here, what goes around comes around. The cycle of life continues. Choose to be in it, but not of it. I think what it's really saying here is, because we kind of are in it and we kind of are of it, but I feel like the mentality that's kind of coming through with that message is like, live it and enjoy it and be of it and be in it, but don't make your whole self-worth of the physical, you know? So it's like, good things are to come in time, when it's the right moment, right? Your good energy will be rewarded, I feel, or your actions will be rewarded. either that with an internal or external kind of situation, feeling, event. Okay, and you've also got the Magician with Transform through Illumination. Such a really nice card too. Kind of reminds me of how I do my meditations, like connecting with the earth light, and like I guess I'm here going, wow. I don't do that, but and then connecting with the sunlight. So it's like all the way through your light body and then filling up with light energy. It kind of reminds me of that. And this is exactly what it is. What usually you think of like the Magician with manifestation or creation, and I feel that's true, but also transformation. Like you changing internally and also changing your environment because you've felt empowered, and you're going forward with like courage and strength. There's so much here. It really does touch on like your whole healing journey. Maybe I've already gone through this stage and you just needed to be reminded of like, well done. But also I feel like there's bits of more, there's more to come as well. There's more good to come, and that comes from you empowering yourself, not you looking back onto what was and what didn't work and that kind of thing. Because we can always fall back, right? Don't feel bad about looking back and like going back into old patterns, because when you identify them and you get yourself back out, that is still huge growth, right? It's not like there's any living person or even past, I feel, that's had perfect, like they were born with fully enlightened, right? Fully understood everything in life, never argued, never fought, never like it was all perfect. Even yogis or anything like that now, I'm sure they have ego, right? Because they're here, they're on earth. They will have ego, they'll make mistakes, they'll say things that they didn't mean, that kind of thing. Like so much. It's not like it's not, the goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be a self-aware, I feel, in this reading. Okay, so that is exactly what I see in your reading. I don't know if this really touched on healing, but I feel like this is definitely part of your healing journey, and there's so much internal like shifts, and it's like the purpose for clearing is like alignment with Angelite. And I just love that it's really down, what do you call it? Putting it very clear that you are supported in this, instead of going, yeah, you are supported, and your path is heading towards self-sufficiency, I want to say. Self-sufficiency, and really utilizing, like, instead of looking back at the past and wanting to kind of hold on to that, it's like more using that, let's say, BS as fertilizer for what you could actually turn your past challenges into, I guess, future or current growths or support, right? Because something has to die for something to be reborn. And why not let that be through light and through you? Okay, so that's exactly what I see in your reading today, pile number 2. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Please leave a comment if you have any questions about the cards. I'll leave the card decks in the description. Otherwise, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading today. So you have chosen the Amber card with Harmony, Home Protection, Calm and Attracts Love. And I don't know what it was about this, but when I started shuffling, because I've shuffled the cards a little bit for each pile just to ensure that the energy is very specific to you and the pile you choose. But I was getting such a, like, at heart and soul, such a soft, kind, sweet person. And what you want, like humble, and what you want in life, and it's like, it's really nice energy. Whether different paths put us into really particular situations, right? Our journeys, so we can be, sometimes we'll come up with challenges and people won't see that. But this is true within you. That's just how it feels. What I'm saying is true within you. Just because some people don't see it doesn't mean it's not true, right? Because if you believe it, that's all that matters. It's not about external. Okay, so oh goodness. There's a few cards from here wanting to come out, but I think that one was more excited to come out today. So this is your healing reading. From what I've seen with the other piles coming through, is that there's like a theme of healing through what you've already done, remembering the path that you've already traveled, not to relive it, but to remind you of how strong you are and how far you've come. Okay, Mr. Jumper. Okay, you really want to come out. I'm going to take you. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at your cards today. Flying around. It's like a really bubbly pile. Alright, so you've got the Owl Spirit with you see clearly now. It is reversed. I do read these reversed, this particular one. We'll see how this comes through. I want to keep it reversed. I feel like it's either one of two things. I'm not getting really like a clear picture, but for some it's either like there's fog. There's like, or you can't see a way out, but there is like a very clear path, and it's like I see that path, but maybe not, or you're content at the moment, so ripping up or changing something is like, why do I need to if I don't have to, kind of thing. There's something there. There's something really interesting. It's like settling a little bit, settling in, which is fine, but I think it's, with this card coming out, I think it's time to like, you know, go forward. You've got enough insight, I feel. There's enough warning signs or signs. Maybe not warning, but like notification, let's say. Okay. So you've got, it's a no. I think again, this kind of popped out in the last pile as well. It's a no. So I think it's coming through again. It's like, there's something with like kind of looking at the past. I think maybe you're looking at like a particular that's why I was like, is this settling? Like there's some kind of like settling in and being like, this is good enough kind of thing. And it's like, no. There's more. Your guides, the information I'm getting is like very clearly there's so much more to be written. Not just these old plans. Old plans are meant to be changed, right? We put in plans so we have guidance, but even if we like plan a day, just one day, right? We're talking about an entire life, but let's just narrow it down to one day. Sometimes those plans don't even go to plan, right? Sometimes we're like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour out, whatever. Or it's raining, so we have to change plans, or whatever. Like, so many things could happen. Think about that in an entire life. We don't stick to the old plans all the time. I feel like you are safe where you are. There's like a feeling of safety, but there's also a feeling of settled. So I don't know who that's for, but there's just like this old way. Maybe just needs to be a little bit shifted. Maybe you've already gone through this and you need to be reminded about this. Remember how far you've come to overcome something. Why settle back into the old you that's not the true you, I want to say. Like, it's nice, but there's more. That's all I want to say. I know I keep harping on about it and I'm trying to move on, but they keep coming back. It's like, keep going, keep going, keep going. Because it's like settling by sitting here, but like, look at all the water around. It's not like, doesn't seem like the most fulfilling. You've got Joan of Arc coming through with conviction. really strongly here. Conviction is about following, I guess, the beat of your own drum. And I feel like there is a calling here and you kind of know it, but you're kind of like, oh, I see that. No. There's like something here that's really calling to you, that's more purposeful, more light, more true. And I feel like your healing, now that you're getting it, is like what you kind of set for yourself, like the limits that you set for yourself, the encouragement you say to yourself, the love you give to yourself. Like there's a lot of things there to be said, and a lot of growth in there. So if the external or some other people or some kind of work environment is not giving you that, or like they don't have to give it to you, right? But you don't feel it within there. You don't need like presents gifted to you every day, but you just need to feel like respected, I guess, is like a very quick way of saying it. You deserve that. So, pay attention to that. And if there's something else that opens up that's better and more suited to you, then why not apply or go or move towards that, or just explore it? No way. Okay, so you've got the Akashic records with clearing old stories, releasing past life and freedom. Yeah, why would you go back? That's why it's like she's looking back, right? She's looking back into the past, and you're right next to the Akashic records, which is like clearing old stories. It's almost like I don't know what it is. It's like forgiving and moving on. Forgiving either the person or self with the intention of utilizing that power or that energy that you angle towards an old story, towards your future and your current present moment. Because that's how you get freedom. It's not about going, oh, this whatever past life I had, I did this and this, now I have to fix this. It's like, not really. You just have to live your life. That's probably best how you can fix it, is like living your truth. That's how you can bring balance and harmony into your relationships in life. Oh wow. Okay, so you've also got Archangel Azrael. This card is specifically about transition. So it's like a shift from one state to the next, or one situation to the next. There's definitely like it's not the past. It's like, he's there to like, he's holding his hands out, like, come through. And while people might think that's kind of scary because it's the angel of death, he's also the angel of grief. And like, he's not about killing. He's about helping those that go from one state to the next, like one stage of their life to the next stage, transitioning from the body to the soul or the spirit into like the light. You know what I mean? It's like it's a healing and healthy kind of thing. Because you got to think about how difficult it would be to do some specific jobs, right, where we hold life and death in the balance, that kind of thing. It's really challenging. And so I feel like from at an archangel kind of level, that's exactly what Azrael is. It's like, does the really hard, emotional, challenging stuff. Not saying the others don't, but you can't really go through more grief or like heal, like helping people heal through challenges and grief is like a big challenge. That's all I want to say. So anyway, not that it was about Azrael, but it's really about transition. So make sure you go forward with your goals, right? Your conviction of ideas or mind towards a better path or future. Okay, so you also have the initiate of activations, and this is a heartful communication. Yeah, being clear with what is, I feel like telling ourselves like our truth is the best way, or really the only, maybe not only way, but one of the best ways to be able to speak the truth to others. If we can tell ourselves our truth, then we can tell others our truth, right? It's like, at first, like, it's easier to tell ourselves. Sometimes we do it all in one outwardly, but why not say it internally and then out loud or in the shower or whatever, in your private space, wherever. But the activations are about, from memory, this is the sword. So this is like the Page of Swords. Okay, so you also have the Rainforest with the 10 of Earth Guardians. This is also like the 10 of Pentacles, and it makes me really think about like home and safety. Like you really, really just want peace in life. I feel like you just want to be peaceful. But it doesn't. Things just don't turn peaceful, right? They have to be worked towards. And peacefulness is like a more of a feeling internally. Sometimes regardless of the outside. Sometimes it's because you've molded your reality into a way that feels more comfortable, peaceful for you and those around you. But there's also rainforests. It's like there's so many different species and lives and like animals and insects and like so much stuff in a rainforest, right? There's so much living life and vibrating living. So it's like you're doing things for yourself, which radiates out for everyone. So even if sometimes you feel like you're being selfish, you're actually 100% not. You're actually being. It's almost like being a teacher without actually teaching. Like going into a teaching role, it's like you just radiate something. So when you're around people, if you're on a high vibration, you help raise their vibration, right? Even if they're really low, or at least raise it up a little bit, so they're a bit more tolerable. I guess I don't know. That sounds really horrible, but like much nicer or much more agreeable to be around. Wow! And then what did I just say? You've got the Ten of Earth Guardians, which is the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, you really are doing things for so much more. And look at those past, like feels like past lives as well. You know, don't get too hung up. I feel like there's a spiritual thing or a spiritual trap. There's so many spiritual traps, right? Everything pretty much is. But there's so many traps of getting stuck on past lives and being like, oh, this is because of my past life that I can't do this. That sounds like an excuse. Don't use that as an excuse. Use that as an opportunity to grow and actually set free many lives before you. Many lives, maybe the lives ahead of you, right, as well, that are going to maybe have some of the similar things. If you can break through it, that'll be so much easier for them to break through it, because I feel like we learn lessons, that kind of thing. The things we overcome, let's say this is the first lifetime where we overcome like a very powerful one, like self-care or self-love or something like that. The next one may go through something like that, but we'll be able to transition out of it so much quicker because of what you've kind of initiated, and then onwards and onwards and onwards. But then again, it almost just wants to come back to harmony and home protection, feeling safe and comfortable, but not settling. I don't know why that keeps coming through. Oh, and I love this. You've got Temperance, and I feel like this is very spiritual in a sense. Kind of touching on with heartful and art, like creation, and also putting your heart into it, or like the light of your soul. My heart is like, feels like it's brightening up just from talking about this. And I think that's where it's really coming from. So what is your, not your emotional heart, but your heart core, your soul really feel like? Like I feel like just take a I don't know if there's like a meditation to be around your soul, but like the warmth of the soul, the what else do I want to say? The energy, just feeling into it, and I feel like just relaxing and not thinking of anything specifically, but just with the intention of bathing in the light, I guess. Anyway, it's a bit random, but Temperance, she feels like she's feeling her fantasy, right? Feeling her hopes, like living her true life, and her true life is going to look different to someone else's, because it's not about comparison or being someone else. It's about being your authentic, true self. I know it's like a word that's always going around, but what is that? Maybe you don't define it by anything. It's because it's like defined by what you do and what you say and how you live your life. And this feels like spiritual because it's like Temperance, which is like the emotion, the psychic, the water, and then one foot on the land, which is like the material and that kind of thing, and they can be blended together. It's not about one being better than the other or comparing or anything. It's about you and how you feel and what's your kind of goals, or feels like a good path to head towards. Okay, so I feel like this has helped us, actually, honestly. I feel like she has, I don't know if it's she, but kind of wants to flip up and just be seen. Maybe this reading has really helped clarify this and what you want to do, because it's time to go forward with whatever is really calling to you, whether that's like artistic, passion, whatever. I feel like you will be going towards something that's going to bring you great abundance and wealth, and wealth is whatever that looks like. It's like so much more than just material, right? It is, but it also it's so much other. There's so much more than that. And with getting the 10 and the 10 out of 2 different decks in the same reading, it's just really calling to your goals are very clear with protection, I guess, home harmony, satisfaction, just getting like fulfillment, just feeling fulfilled with you, who you are and where you are. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. So, thank you very much for being here today and getting a reading. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a message down below. But take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. So today you have chosen the Carnelian with self-trust, relationship rejuvenation, power of concentration, healing from abuse. So obviously a very a lot of like strong words, let's say, towards a healing reading. So quite a lot is coming through here. There was like an aspect of me feeling just with that card, like you're ready, but there's like some, I guess when it comes to self-trust, there's some self kind of disbelief, or it's like I really want this and I'm ready, but not taking the steps to go forward with it. It's like still wanting to talk about it instead of like doing it. It's not a call out, it's just how it feels. Okay, so cards for your healing reading, please. There's like full of good intentions, right? Like good ideas, good heartfelt ideas, but something's still being there that is hard to shift. And that's fair, right? It's not about being perfect. It's about choosing to utilize your energy for what's going to bring you peace, fulfillment, and happiness. Okay. There was a few cards wanting to come out. It's a bit weird. But we'll just go with that one because I feel like that one's the one. Okay. So a message for healing. Actually, I'll move these here and I'll put these over here. So this is the tarot cards. Now, these have been shuffled, just in case if you're thinking, oh, you went through them very quickly. I did, because I shuffle between each pile. So you're not just going to get, oh yeah, you want to come out. You're not getting the same cards. Some of the same cards have an opportunity to pop up, and they have done today, but that doesn't mean that all the cards will or have. It's more like an opportunity for the cards to pop up in a reading, and sometimes the same cards will come up twice, right? Because it's an important message at this moment, because we're talking about collective and there's only 4 piles, so there's going to be bits and pieces from each sometimes, or just one, like a small portion from one, and that's enough. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards today. So you've got the Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive, and this is reversed. So it's really talking about focusing. This is why I was getting that feeling of talking but not walking, or like doing, wanting something but not working to like really, I guess, putting the energy towards it, because maybe there's stuff behind that needs to be processed or worked through. It's obviously up to you and where you're at in your life. But that's why this is reversed, because it's talking about, instead of going like deeper into it, it's still surface level. And maybe that's fine for now. Like sometimes the surface level stuff is what we need to work through to get deeper. But if you feel like you've done, it feels like there's more to be had, to be grown from, learned from, processed, released, forgiven, whatever words you want to say. And it's for good reason, right? It's to feel like your true self. Like that's really how it feels like, to feel your heart vibe, something like that. To feel your true self, like feel like who you used to feel like, or who you truly are, instead of someone that isn't you, or some aspect that isn't really you. It's just been kind of built up or turned into a wall or something like that. It feels like it can be hard, right? It's not easy. It's not supposed to be though, but it has to be true. And even if you're like, I'm not coping, just saying that gives an opportunity, a door open to help with, like, you know, what do you need? Like, to ask yourself, what do I need? What is going to bring me kind of like peace right now? Maybe I don't work on this and I just take a break and have a nice meal. You know what I mean? Like, that's self-care. That's really where I'm coming from with this. Okay, like I said, another card. This popped up in pile 2, I believe. But you've got St. Paul with Sacred Vision. It's interesting because I believe the story with St. Paul was not believing in like the story of Jesus or anything like that, and feeling like it was kind of like a whole lot of BS, let's say, and then actually getting like a vision, and I can't remember who popped up. I can't remember if it was an angel or Jesus or Mary or whoever, but getting a vision of like the divine, and kind of being set straight, and then devoting his time towards that kind of belief system, let's say. So the reason why it's coming out is knowing that there is a better way and a right way of doing this. It's like you already conceptualized and created this path, and so now it's the time to go forward with it, because it will be deep, but it's also co-created. It's not something that's not yours. It's yours for you, by you, with in mind your creator or your guides or whoever you believe in. All right, so you've also got Jeremy L. It's really interesting. It's kind of like a little snow theme. I'll have a look at that card because I don't know it that well. Yeah, you've got focus on higher truths, and I think that's popped out because of what I keep going on and on about. It's like, be honest and true with yourself. You know, what path makes sense to you? Like, even with this, he was on his path, right? He was on the path that he felt called to, and then an event happened and it changed. And that's okay. We don't have to stick to something that we always believed in. Like, even now, he might, in this day and age, might change paths again. Who knows? It's for the time, right? It's got to be for now, like what's happening in the world now, and what's true and what's fair now. All right, so you've also got 12 light codes with light initiation, great teacher awakens, and divine magic. Yeah, you have a lot of, I don't know if it's like spirit power, if you want to like turn it into something like that, but it's like really strong energy. Really strong energy. So don't focus on the 3D truths. What's really true? Like, get to the core, go deep within, to help you through whatever you're feeling, because this feels like a really emotional stuff, or deep or old energy. Okay, so I want to check out Jamiriel. So it talks about mercy, and I'll just read the little blurb. It says, call on me to bring more comfort and clarity into your life. Do not hold on to that which is outdated. I can help you clear your mind and nourish your soul. So it's about moving on from old stories, and I think that's wherever these came from. They don't have to be your present or future, if it's, you know, unless the person or event is still happening in your life. 9 times out of 10, that's probably not the case. It's done. So it's time to move forward in a way that's self-honoring and honoring maybe the person or the situation, by releasing it and not putting any more energy towards it. If it's done, it's done, right? Easier said than done. I'm not saying like just snap your fingers and you'll be good. I'm just saying think about it. Consider what's best for you. Right, so you've got the 7 of activations with wings of integrity. And again, they're really talking to the, this is the seven of swords in a regular tarot, which makes sense why it's talking about integrity, right? Because the guy is taking the swords, which helps his team, but it's not done in a like, let's say, honorable way. And I think it's again touching on go deeper than just the surface. Don't try to trick yourself out of great, huge amount of blessings and learnings, because all the stuff you go through will be huge benefit to growth for other people and also for yourself, of course, whether you tell your story or not. It's not about telling it. It's about, I guess it's about growing from it as best you can and not letting the event take away your power of where you move or how you move forward from here. All right, and you also have the 4 of activations, restful renewal. Yeah, this doesn't have to be hard, it just has to be true and honest. And this is the 4 of swords coming through, like the similar one. So it's like, I love this too, this little infinity symbol with the DNA. It's like, you know, growth over many different challenges, many different lives, a lot of growth that doesn't go away. You like everything you've went through and go through and have gone through and overcome goes straight to your soul and lives there forever. That's kind of how it's feeling. Lives there forever and ever and ever. That learning is so valuable. Okay. You also have the world. I love that. Yep, something coming to an end to be celebrated and moved on from. Like a milestone reached or a goal reached or a quest completed. So it's like that next thing. And I like how it's got many different hands make the world go round kind of feeling. Like it's like, you know, everyone goes through many different things. Everyone goes through something in their life. No one's has like an easy life. And if you think that, then you're comparing, and so you're already disadvantaging yourself as well. So while we can always do that, and of course we will, I will think, oh, their life must be easy because they have all this money and all this stuff, but you never know what's going on, and really it doesn't matter what I think anyway about them. Why am I thinking that? What is that about me? Like, where's that coming from? You know, I mean, I'll still do it occasionally from time to time. No one's perfect. And the cards aren't telling you to be perfect. They're just telling you to go forward with what's actually going to bring you truth about yourself so you can radiate that, not that truth, but that empowering energy, I want to say. Yeah, this empowering energy so you can move forward. It's the Knight of Pentacles too. It's not a rush. He's not rushing. He's planning, he's strategizing, and instead of doing things like, you know, going around in a roundabout way or just kind of avoiding something, he's planning and to go forward with truth. It just feels like truth. Everything you keep getting here is truth. I'll just read this little blurb. It says here, meet me at the zoo. Nope. Meet me at 2. Sorry, glasses. I have good news, and then it's got little horses. Okay, cool. So maybe good news is coming up. Like there's purpose to this. This is to open up a doorway to, I feel like, understanding who you are at a soul level, not at just a human level. It's good to know us, who we are at a human level, right? But there's so much more to us than just what people see, what we assume, and that goes for how we perceive other people too. Like, we know that we're more than just our surface, yet sometimes we forget that when we're thinking of other people. It's like everyone has a deep inner kind of world as well, and so do you. So, really interesting here. It feels like there's a lot of learning and growth because you're either on the path of like creating something like a story or a book, or like moving on, like, I don't know what this is with the great teacher divine magic, like really understanding your truth. And maybe you've already finished this journey, right? It's not saying you have to like do anything now, maybe you've already passed this. If you haven't, that's okay, because there's no full stop end of a journey. Even when we pass, we're not necessarily, maybe in this body, in this form, but not, what do I want to say? It's not the end of like our soul. It's just the end of a particular phase. So same with the things that go on in your life, like a particular phase comes to an end, time to understand it, and even if it doesn't make sense, it's just like time to take what message you can take from it that will help you, or that at least helps with like moving on from it or processing, whatever. Because you have a very clear path ahead, which is more full of light and love, and it might. There's a lot of learning deep within. There's a lot of learning with the swan and the thoth light codes. Like there's a lot of goodness. There's a lot of choice coming up. Whether you stay in a particular state or you move into a much lighter bodied, honorable state. Not saying that way is not right, but just saying that this way is different, and it comes with its own trials as well, like difficulties, blessings, that kind of things. Like neither one's right or wrong. It's just up to you which way you choose from here onwards. So very interesting, kind of deep, but also hopefully really healing. So thank you very much for being here today, pile number 4. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have any questions or want to put a comment, please do. I'll reply if it's something I can assist with. Otherwise, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next reading.